As a man, you are in charge of the finances of that household.
She could still come to talk to you and you still make the decisions based on both your combined income.
You got the checkbook, you got the bank accounts, you handle all of that stuff. You pay the bills as the man. You don't let her have to worry or stress about money because you handle all of that. You really should not be disclosing your income to a woman that you're dating. So many guys I talk to have done this, and I'm like, why are you talking about this? This is not really her business at this point.
If I was a guy and some woman was like, oh yeah, so how much do you make? I probably wouldn't go on a date with her again.
Yeah, probably like, how much does it cost for a night? She'd be like, what? Like for a night with you? Because if you think I'm a prostitute, so you must be one.
Yeah. Look.
But let's throw the 50-50 out there because that's just ridiculous. Like I'm not even entertaining 50-50 anymore. That's just stupid. Like we're just done with that because it's not going to work. That's not like, okay. Yeah. Even if a woman works a job, right, when you're married, that's okay. It's still not 50-50, right? It's like, if you're like, all right, well, you need to contribute 50% of the mortgage payment or whatever. No, come on. Like, be a man. Just grow up and be a man, right? Like, that's why I'm not even going to consider that anymore. You know?
The only hard part is that there is still a lot of people that are doing that would want to be like you and I, but right. They just can't right now. Okay, fine.
Then this is what they do. Regardless of if a woman works or not, as a man, you are in charge of the finances of that household.
Okay,
right?
So you still would make she could still come to talk to you and you still make the decisions based on both your combined income.
You got the checkbook, you got the bank accounts, you handle all of that stuff. You pay the bills as the man, right? You don't let her have to worry or stress about money because you handle all of that. And then, yeah, maybe she's still working and getting a paycheck, but it's going to a joint account that you are managing as the man. You're the money manager of the house. You got the financial, right? Obviously, you should be the provider and be working towards that. But I can understand also in situations where you've got a couple, they don't have kids yet. They're setting up their goals to like try and buy a house or whatever. And so she's working and contributing to help. I can get on board with that temporarily, but your long-term plan needs to not be this. You know what I mean? And you as the man have to be the sole, even if you're not the sole provider, you have to be the sole financial planner and organizer and bill payer and the steward of the money.
I think that's what women want too. Yeah. And the only reason women are doing those roles is because they want to control the situation or they don't feel super confident that the man can do it. But there are ways that the man can make a woman feel more confident in those things. Because the thing is, she doesn't want to take care of those things. And even if she's acting like she does right now, it's because she's afraid.
Yeah, she's
so
afraid.
all you have to do is prove to her that you can do it.
Right.
And she'll gladly give up that, role.
And it doesn't mean that a man should just make all the financial decisions without any input or anything. And it's like, instead it should be, because what I was just talking to a coaching client of mine, and I was like, look, you don't want to get into all these technical discussions about how much money you should put in your IRA and what kind of no. Just when you're having the discussion with your wife, you don't have to go back and forth on pennies and stuff. Like, you talk about what are your big goals financially. She's like, oh, I really want to have a house. I want it to be 5 bedrooms, whatever. We're going to have 3, So then he's like, okay, well, either we can do this or we can't do this. We're going to save up for this. Here's the plan. It still doesn't have to even get down to the numbers of that as the man, because you don't need to. That's not. You want to buy a car. You want to save for college for your kids. Like all those things. Those things can happen as a discussion that you're jointly talking about of what your ultimate goals are. But the man can still look at the finances and handle how is he going to make this happen? You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's where, we kind of got into the whole thing is, as a man, you really should not be disclosing your income to a woman that you're dating. Like so many guys I talk to have done this, and I'm like, why are you talking about this? It's not really her business at this point. If you have,
especially if you're not together, like that's kind of a red flag.
Oh, God.
I feel like if a man or a woman asks you how much you're making on dates, like if you're not together, like it's just concerning. I feel like either way. Like, obviously, if I was a guy and some woman was like, oh, yeah, so how much do you make? Like, I probably wouldn't go on a date with her again. And vice versa. You know what I mean?
I would be like, how much does it cost for a night? She'd be like, for a night with you? Because if you think I'm a prostitute, so you must be one. Right? Like, because she's treating you like a prostitute, right? So
that's a little much.
I think it is. I think it is. If you're a woman asking a man how much he makes on a date, well,
I mean, I agree that it's not it's not good to do, but I think you're also being jumping the gun a little bit.
I don't know. How is that different than prostitution? Like, what is your purpose there? If you're asking
I agree. I think that it's like, not a good purpose, but I don't think I'd call somebody that just outright. I just wouldn't go on a date with them again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like that person would be for sale if they're asking.